Hare Krishna. Hello friends, how are you all doing? I hope you all are doing well. This is Ritendra. I am preacher of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and today I come with very special lecture. Today I am going to talk about animal sacrifice and Srimad Bhagavad Gita. How Lord Krishna prohibited animal sacrifice as per Srimad Bhagavad Gita, as well as I am also going to talk about Srimad Bhagavatam and also PETA, people of ethical treatment of animal. And this is NGO which one is based of USA, and it was established in 2011 in India, and this NGO is working for the animal fair animal treatment as well as the prevention of the animal from the slaughtering. So before I start my lecture, I would like to introduce Srimad Bhagavad Gita. This is Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is written by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Mahaprabhupada from ISKCON temple, and I would have to say Srimad Bhagavad Gita is neither religious book nor spiritual book, but in truth is pure book of science and humanity. I am trying to propagate humanity on the basis of Srimad Bhagavad Gita and trying to morally motivate to those people who are actually frustrated and attempted to commit suicide on the basis of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So let's get into animal sacrifice and Srimad Bhagavad Gita. The practice of the animal sacrifice. The practice of the Hindu animal sacrifice is mostly associated with Shaktiism, and the current of the folk Hinduism strongly rooted in the local popular or the tribal tradition. However, the animal sacrifice were part of the ancient Vedic religion in India. Ancient Vedic religion in India, and are mentioned in the sculptures such as Yajurveda. Yajurveda, there is a mention about the animal sacrifice. The practice declined during the formation of the Hinduism. This practice has been declined after the formulation of the Hinduism. Hinduism and Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Yajurvedas, all are different from Hinduism and Hindutva. But after the formation of Hinduism, this practice has been declined, and many Hindus are strongly disapprove them. And Hindu sculpture like Purans and Bhagavad Gita forbid animal sacrifice. So method of sacrifice are also there. Method of the sacrifice range from the decapitation, jhatka, and strangulations to spike being driven into the heart of the animal. And the jhatka method requires the instant killing of the animal in a single decapitating blow with an axe or sword. So this is about means animal sacrifice, and also animal sacrifice, how animal sacrifice and how, and jhatka method is also there. And let's get into Srimad Bhagavatam. The animal sacrifice and all things, these all are the characteristics of the people who are actually associated with the cruelty, the people who are actually having a cunning mind or evil mind. The ignorant of art of the world, such arrogantly proud of fools, enchanted and livened by the sweet word of the Vedas, pose as learned authority and offer flattering entries to the demigod. Due to the influence of the mode of passion, the materialistic followers of the Vedas become a subject to violent desire and exclusively lusty because of the material desire. They are actually harming to the animal or other living entity in the society, and their anger is like that of the snake. And deceitful, overproud, and sinful in their behavior. They mock the devotee who are dear to Lord Krishna. They mock to the devotee who are actually dear to Lord Krishna. The materialistic follower of the Vedic rituals. Giving up the worship of the Lord, instead practically worship their wives. And children. Their home become dedicated to the sex life. They are actually dedicated to the sex life. Such a materialistic householder encourages one another in such a whimsical behavior. And understanding the ritual sacrifice as a necessary item for bodily maintenance. And then perform unauthorized ceremony in which there is no distribution of the foodstuff or charity to the Brahmins, and also other respectable person. Instead, they are cruelly slaughter the animal, such as a god, without understanding the dark consequences of the animal. Without understanding the dark consequences of the animal. In Srimad Bhagavatam, in 11 canto, chapter number 5 and verse number 14, here stated, for a meat eater, the Vedic literature contains it's a clear warning. There is a clear warning for meat eater or or animal slaughterer. One who killed an innocent animal will undoubtedly be killed in the next life by the similar process. One who has killed innocent animal, listen it very carefully, once who has killed innocent animal will undoubtedly be killed in the next life by a similar process and by the similar sword or by similar animal. The intelligence of the cruel-minded person. The intelligence of the cruel-minded person is blinded by false ego and based on the great wealth, opulence and prestigious family connection and education, enunciation, personal beauty, physical strength and successful performance of the Vedic literatures or rituals. Being intoxicated with this false pride, and such a cruel person blasphemes the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his devotee. This kind of the person, the cruel-minded person, always blasphemes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, always blasphemes the Supreme Personality of Godhead and also his devotee. If I am devotee of Lord Krishna, yes, I am devotee of Lord Krishna, then that particular cruel-minded person will surely bless me and criticize my God as well as me as a devotee of Lord Krishna. That person will say that this person is a fake person, this person is a fraud person, this person is only showing off the other people about his devotion and all things. This person is not true devotee. This kind of cruel-minded people are saying something like this. The personality of Godhead is eternally situated within the heart of every embodied conditioned soul. Every embodied soul. Still the Lord remains situated apart, just as the sky, which is all pervading, doesn't mix with any material object. The sky doesn't mix with any material object. However, Lord Krishna has created entire material world, but even though he is not part of this material world, he is like a sky. He will never mix with any material object. And thus the Lord is the supreme worshipable object and absolute controller of everything. Lord Krishna is the absolute control of everything. He is elaborately glorifying the Vedic literature. He is elaborately glorifying the Vedic literature, but those who are bereft of intelligence don't like to hear about him. But like Hiranyakashyap, they actually bereft with intelligence. They are actually bewildered by intelligence. They don't have intelligence. Their intelligence has been bewildered in the dark mode. So that person will never like to listen any even single word about Lord Sri Hari Vishnu. They prefer to waste their time discussing their own mental concoction. They are actually wasting their time. They would prefer their time to wasting their time in order to discuss about their own mental concoction, and which inevitably deal with a gross material sense of the gratification. Gross material sense of the gratification, such as a sex life and also meat eating. Gross material sense of the gratification. The gross material sense of the gratification, such as a sex life and also meat eating or meat eater. In this material world, the conditioned soul is always inclined to sex life, meat eating and also intoxicating. In this material, these all are things Maya. Sex life is also Maya, meat eating is also Maya, and also intoxication is also Maya. Therefore, religious culture never actually encourage such activities. Therefore, these all things are Maya. Because of these things, our religious culture never actually encourage such activities. Although the sculptural injunction provide for the sex through the sacred marriage. Listen it very carefully. Although the sculpture, Vedic sculpture, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Yajurved, these all are allowed to all of us to indulge ourselves in the sex life through the sacred marriage. for meat eating through the sacrificial offering, meat eating through the sacrificial offering, and for the intoxication through the acceptance of the ritual cups of wine, intoxication through the acceptance of the ritual cup of wine, and also such a ceremony are meant for the ultimate purpose of the renunciation. Thus the ceremonies are meant for the ultimate purpose of the renunciation. So this kind of the meat eating, this kind of the intoxicating of the wine and also sex life is allowed by Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. The only proper fruit of acquired wealth is religiosity. On the basis of the one can acquire the philosophical understanding of life that eventually mature into the direct perception of the absolute truth, and thus a liberation from all the suffering. This will surely give a liberation from all the suffering. And materialistic person, however, utilize their wealth simply for the advancement of their family situation, and they fail to see that insurmountable death will soon destroy the frail of the material body. According to Vedic injunction, means what kind of the sex life and what kind of meat eating and what kind of intoxicating is allowed as per Srimad Bhagavatam. So let's get into. According to the Vedic literature or Vedic injunction, when wine is offered in the sacrificial ceremonies, it is later to be consumed by smelling. Wine is only allowed to consumed by smelling, not by drinking. Wine is allowed, as per Vedic literature, wine is allowed to consume by smelling, not by drinking. Listen it very carefully. Wine is only consumed by smelling, not by drinking. Similarly, the sacrificial offering of the animal is permitted. Sacrificial offering of animal is permitted, but there is no provision for wide scale of animal slaughter. There is no provision of the wide scale of the animal slaughter. And religious sex life is also permitted, but only in a marriage for getting children, and not for the sensuous exploitation of the body. Unfortunately, however, the less intelligent materialistic cannot understand that duty in the life should be performed purely on the spiritual platform. The sinful person who are ignorant of actual religious principle and consider themselves to be completely pious without compunction, commit violence against the innocent animal who are fully trusting in them. In their next life, such a sinful person will be eaten. In the next life, such a sinful person will be eaten by same creatures they have killed in this world. So we don't have to kill animal. We don't have to associate ourselves in a meat eating. So this is strongly prohibited as per Srimad Bhagavatam. But religious sacrifice and these all things are allowed. But we have to take a oblation in the form of the oblation. And let's get into the PETA. When we talk about PETA, what is PETA? People for ethical. Listen it very carefully. People for the ethical treatment of animal. The PETA organization is American animal right non-profit organization based on the Norfolk, Virginia, and led by the Ingrid Newkirk. Its international president, and PETA reports PETA entities have more than 9 million members globally. There are more than 9 million members globally. PETA is only founded in 1980s by Ingrid and Alex Fasesco. The organization first caught public attention in the summer of 1981 during what became known as a Silver Spring Monkey case. There is a Silver Spring Monkey case. The organization claims its oppositions to factor farming, animal testing, and also use of the animal in entertainment. It also campaigned for the vegan lifestyle and also against the eat meeting, fishing, and also killing of the animal regarded as a pest, and the keeping of the chained backyard dogs cock fighting, also dog fighting, and beekeeping, and also bull fighting, and also another animal abuses. So PETA is working for that. And in the case of the Jallikattu, especially in the Tamil Nadu, the PETA has worked like that, and PETA has opposed. The PETA has filed a petition in the Supreme Court of India, and also Supreme Court put a verdict about to stop the Jallikattu, stop a Jallikattu bullfighting means on the festival of the Pongal or Uttarayan or Makar Sankranti. So this is mentioned in this is a work of PETA, and PETA is something PETA is working like this. So let's get into what about the animal sacrifice as per Srimad Bhagavad Gita. As per destruction of the particular things, similarly animal to get immediate human birth by passing the sequence, they should be sacrificed in the fire yajnas or yagya. And Krishna actually helped those animals by immediately giving a new birth as a human without any delay. So here animal sacrifice, not mass slaughter, is not allowed, but animal sacrifice is allowed for Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and it's something like a similar immediately human birth. Lord Krishna is stated from the passing of the various birth, 84 lakh birth yonis, the person's soul has been passing out and also take a human birth. So animal soul is also our own soul, and animal soul will surely get a human soul at the same time. So Lord Krishna, those animals who have sacrificed, who have passed for religious sacrifice, Lord Krishna will surely allow that animal immediately giving a new birth as a human form without any delay, and by human form the particular animals will surely reach to the Supreme Personality Godhead Lord Krishna. Srila Prabhupada also stated, Kshatriya are also specially trained by challenging and killing because religious violence is sometimes a necessary factors. Religious violence sometimes necessary factors, and therefore Kshatriyas are never meant for accepting directly the order of sannyas and also renunciation. Kshatriyas are never accepting directly the order of sannyasa and renunciation. Non-violence in the politics may be diplomacy, but it's never factor or principle. In the religious law, it has stated that in the battlefield, the king or Kshatriyas, while fighting another kings envious of him, is eligible for achieving heavenly planet after the death, as the Brahmanas also attain the heavenly planet by sacrificing the animal in the sacrificial fire. In the sacrificial fire, Brahmana will surely get a heavenly planet. Lord Krishna here stated to Arjuna, Hatva praptasya swargam jitva bhoksasyami mahima tasmad uttishta kaunteya yuddham kuru nischaya. Hatva praptasya swargam jitva bhoksasyami mahima tasmad uttishta kaunteya yuddham kuru nischaya. Here Lord Krishna stated, if you fight this war and if you killed by your enemy, then you will surely get a heavenly planet, and if you conquer your enemy, then you will surely get a heaven like a planet. So stand up and perform your duty. You don't have to escape from your duty, because giving up your duty will surely lead you toward the most degraded place and also downward. So you don't have to give up your duty. So fight this war is only your duty. Fight against these all things. जब हाथी पागल हो जाता है तब उसको मार देना चाहिए, बिकॉज that elephant is harmful for the society. If some person is harmful for the society, we just have to kill the particular person. I hope you all can understand. This is all about religious sacrifice. Religious means sacrificial fire is allowed, but not mass killing is allowed as per Srimad Bhagavad Gita and as per Srimad Bhagavatam. I hope you all can understand. If you are having any questions, any doubt, then please kindly put a comment. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Radhe Radhe.